Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Real Spooky Stories. This is a non-judgemental space where I tell your strange and spooky stories. If you would like to share your story, no matter how trivial you may think it is, please email jade@crypticcoven.uk or go to my Instagram, realspooky.stories, and there's a little email button there which you can click and send me an email straight away. This is episode 4 and this story is from Erin. So when I was around 3, we moved into a big house with a loft conversion. Over time, we made that loft into a games room / man cave for my dad to play pool, as he was into it at the time. I'm an only child and I lived with my mum and dad. At the time, my dad was work nights and my mum would stay home. One night, she walked past my room in the middle of the night and saw me sat up talking as if I was talking to someone at the end of my bed. So she came into the room and she told me I looked at her vaguely and just continued talking until I went to bed. She wasn't sure if I was just sleepwalking or sleep talking and didn't want to wake me. But a couple of weeks went by and every time my mum tried to send me to bed, I was anxious to go upstairs. When I was asked why I didn't want to go to bed, I would always respond, "The lady in the light." I've already told you about the light lady. To this day, I do not remember this, but my mum certainly does. We also recall hearing the pool table balls smacking together of a night, and every time my dad would go up to check the pool table, the protector would be off and on the floor. My dad always made sure it was on the table, as it was his pride and joy at the time. A couple of weeks after that, my mum was cleaning and she felt something was wrong. She walked into her and my dad's bedroom and swore she saw a shadow of a tall man in a black suit. She said she felt a presence as soon as she walked upstairs. She was so freaked out by this, she ran to the neighbours and called my uncle to come check the house. I was at school and my dad was working. There wasn't anyone there, but she always says she remembered the man to this day and very clearly. Another thing that seems completely separate from the happenings at home. In school, I always used to talk about the shadows dancing / running down the school walls. I would always come home and talk about them, and when and if I'd seen them that day to my mum, but she just used to say it was my imagination. Only now, when she tells me all about it, she admits she was too freaked out to even question it all. Okay, Erin, it sounds like you were like a weird child. Now, it sounds like you could obviously see things, and when your mum went in your room and you were talking, and then you just vaguely looked at her and then carried on talking, your mum probably was just like, "I'm not even asking who you're talking to," and she just let you carry on before you went to bed. But I wonder what this lady in the light was about. I feel like I wish parents and stuff would ask more questions, but I also would not be asking questions. Like, if my kid was saying the lady in the light, I'd be like, "Okay, bye. You see that lady, I don't want to." Like, I don't want to know. But as long as she wasn't hurting you or anything, then you were just talking to someone. It could have been your imaginary friend. Your mum was probably just thinking. And as for your mum seeing this tall man in the black suit, that's really scary as well. Like, why was someone in a suit in her bedroom? It's interesting to think what was like where your house was in before your house was built, and I wonder if that was to do with anything in the area or why he would have been in a suit or anything. But to make her actually run out the house and have someone come and check the house, that must have really scared her, and I'm not surprised that she can still remember it to this day. I probably will remember that story for the rest of my life, even though I didn't see it. And also, you saying about the shadows dancing and running up the wall at school, I wonder what that meant. And what were the shadows like? Were they genuinely just shadows, or were they like something else? And also, I wonder what your school was again before it was a school. Like, I wonder if it was something else and that was relevant to what you were seeing. And I honestly don't blame your mum for not wanting to ask you or ask more questions about what you were seeing or anything, because I would honestly be too freaked out by it all as well. You hear that a lot though, to be honest. People don't speak of it until after it's happened, because is just too freaky, and I don't blame her. Thanks so much for sending in your story, Erin. I enjoyed reading it and I enjoyed retelling it for everyone. And thank you to everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to send your stories, please email jade@crypticcoven.uk, or if you go to my Instagram, realspooky.stories, there's a little email button in the bio where you can just click it and it'll send you straight to the email, no messing around. I look forward to hearing your stories, and thank you for listening, and I'll see you next episode. Bye.